Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Erli and Frisca, and now I want to explain how to review journal. Before I explain how to review journal, what is a review journal? Review journal is an activity to provide a review of a journal with the aim of obtaining its strength and weakness and knowing the quality of the journal. How to review journals? First, choose the journal that matches your reason. Choose a journal that doesn't have many pages, because the more journal page you will find it difficult to understand. And the second is pay attention to the originality of the journal. Make sure that the journal taken is from a clear source. And the next is, what are the generic structure of the review journal? First, orientation. Second, evaluation. Third, interpretation. And the last is summary. The first is introduction. The pattern that first appears when you review your journal is an introduction. In this initial pattern, the author is asked to explain the main description of something to be written. And the second is evaluation. In part 1, it provides an overview of its strengths, uniqueness, quality, and other related things that make it attractive by providing a more detailed description of the work or object to be reviewed. However, it must be based on facts without including the opinion of the author. And the third is interpretation. In this one part, the authors will show their opinions or views on the words or objects that have been reviewed by them. Of course, in the part 1, this only done after sufficient evaluation of work or item itself. And the last is summary. And for the last part, an author will give the reader a conclusion to work or object that has been previously reviewed. And now, I will give an example of how to review a journal. This journal from a lecture at University Muhammadiyah of Semarang, namely Mr. Dodi Mulyadi, with the title Enhancing Students' Listening Proficiency Through the Instruction of Metacognitive Listening Strategy. And the part 1 is introduction. This journal aims to determine the effectiveness of learning metacognitive listening strategy, or MCLS, by providing integrated listening strategy learning between metacognitive and cognitive strategies on student listening ability. Teaching metacognitive listening strategies is useful for increasing students' independence by planning and deciding what strategies are best for mastering listening skills. The next is evaluation. Analysis of the effectiveness of MCLS learning on students' listening skills. The mean pre-test scores of students between the experimental group and the control group were slightly different. Statistically significant difference in students' listening proficiency after teaching using MCLS. And while the comparison between pre-test and post-test was not statistically different, the p-value was higher than the critical value of 0.05 after teaching listening without MCLS. And the next is interpretation. The effect of MCLS learning as an integration strategy between metacognitive learning and cognitive strategies clearly improves students' listening ability. The proof: the experimental group who received treatment obtained significant benefits on students' listening ability based on statistical analysis. In other words, MCLS instruction is a listening strategy instruction that is useful for improving students' mastery of spoken language. And the last one is summary. The summary is statistical analysis shows that there is a big influence on students' listening proficiency after being treated with a 10-week listening learning strategy using MCLS. The students' listening proficiency assessment in the experimental group was better than the control group students. This provides that the integrity of the two listening strategies between the metacognitive strategies of the metacognitive strategies nouns does not have a significant effect on students' listening proficiency. However, there is no that can be extracted regarding the implementation of MCLS. Therefore, this learning can be an alternative solution in implementing listening learning strategies in order to improve students' listening ability. Thus, MCLS learning is useful for learning listening strategies. By considering metacognitive and cognitive strategies so that students are better at mastering spoken language, and cognitive strategies are very useful in improving students' listening proficiency. Okay, that is how to review journals. Hope it's useful for all of you. Thank you. Sorry for my mistakes. See you guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.